In Sierra Leone, growing up can mean facing pain, trauma, and even death. A land where children are torn from their mothers, ancient rituals still endure, and a precious stone has come to symbolize brutal conflict. Welcome to Sierra Leone, a place of beauty and scars. This is Eagle Discovery. Let's dive into the untold story of this extraordinary nation. Geography and climate. Have you ever heard of a place where storms roar like lions? Welcome to Sierra Leone, a hidden gem nestled on the western coast of Africa. This small yet incredibly diverse country may seem unremarkable on a map, but it is packed with history, culture, and natural beauty. When you think of Sierra Leone, picture miles and miles of pristine, powder-white sandy beaches that stretch endlessly along the Atlantic coastline. These beaches are surrounded by lush, vibrant green hills that seem to kiss the horizon, and towering mountains that thunder with such intensity that, according to local legend, the sound resembles the mighty roar of a lion. This land of contrasts is not just a place to visit. It's an experience to be felt in every gust of wind, every drop of rain, and every step you take through its landscapes. At the heart of Sierra Leone lies Freetown, the bustling capital city with a rich and layered history. Freetown was established in the late 17th century as a settlement for freed slaves from the Americas, creating a unique cultural blend of African, Caribbean, and European influences. Today, Freetown is a thriving urban center where the streets are filled with the sounds of diverse languages, music, and the vibrant energy of people going about their daily lives. Its port, one of the oldest and most active in the region, continues to serve as a vital link between Sierra Leone and the rest of the world. The city has witnessed much change, from colonial rule to independence, but it remains a symbol of resilience, hope, and cultural pride for its people. But Sierra Leone's beauty is far from confined to its urban spaces. The country is blessed with over 400 kilometers of untouched, unspoiled beaches, offering perfect places for relaxation and exploration. These secluded stretches of sand are ideal for those seeking tranquility, with clear turquoise waters that invite you to dive in and swim, or simply gaze out at the endless horizon. Beyond the coastline, the country's diverse geography unfolds dramatically. In the northern part of Sierra Leone, you'll find expansive savannas and open plains, where herds of cattle and wildlife roam freely under the wide African sky. As you travel south and east, the landscape changes again. Dense tropical rainforests take over, brimming with rich biodiversity. These lush forests are a haven for a variety of wildlife, including rare species of monkeys, birds, and even the pygmy hippopotamus, a creature so elusive it's one of the world's most fascinating yet endangered animals. Sierra Leone's rivers are another striking feature of its geography. The Rokel River, the longest river in the country, winds through the heart of the nation, cutting through the fertile plains and creating a natural highway for local communities. The mangrove swamps along its banks are vital to the ecosystem, providing shelter and food for both marine and terrestrial life. These wetlands are also important to the people who live along them, offering resources for fishing and agriculture. One of the highlights of Sierra Leone's natural beauty is the Utamba Kilimi National Park. This protected area is a sanctuary for wildlife, and it's one of the few places where chimpanzees roam freely in the wild. The park is a treasure trove for ecotourists and nature enthusiasts who want to experience Sierra Leone's natural beauty in its purest form. However, Sierra Leone's weather is not for the faint of heart. The climate can be intense, with hot, sticky humidity and high temperatures for much of the year. The rainy season, which runs from May to November, brings torrential downpours that can last for hours, cooling the air and refreshing the landscape with every drop. These rains are vital for the lush vegetation that covers much of the country, but they also bring with them challenges, including flooding and transportation difficulties. After the rain stops, the heat and humidity return with full force, turning the streets into a steamy, sweltering reminder of the tropical climate. Life in Sierra Leone revolves around these cycles of weather, with locals adapting their routines to the rhythm of the rains and the sun. Visitors, too, must prepare for the challenge, but the rewards of experiencing such a vibrant and untamed environment make it all worthwhile. Whether you're here to explore the cultural richness of Freetown, trek through the dense forests of the south, or relax on a quiet beach, Sierra Leone's raw beauty and compelling history will leave you with memories that last a lifetime. But it's important to remember that Sierra Leone's climate and natural landscape can be as demanding as they are stunning. So come ready to embrace the challenge and experience a truly unforgettable adventure. Sierra Leone's rich and tragic history. To truly understand Sierra Leone, we must take a journey back in time. The history of this country is not just a story of beauty, but also of struggle, resilience, and transformation. It all begins in the 15th century, when Portuguese navigators first set foot on the shores of Sierra Leone. As the sailors braved the wild, uncharted waters, they were struck by the powerful storms that would frequently rage across the land. The thunderous roars of these storms were so loud and so fierce that the Portuguese, in awe of the natural forces at play, named the area Sierra Leone, which translates to Lion Mountain. The thunder, they believed, sounded like the mighty roar of lions echoing through the mountains, a fitting name for a place so dramatic and untamed. Fast forward to the 17th century, and Sierra Leone's history takes a darker turn as it became a central location in the transatlantic slave trade. The country's strategic position along the West African coast made it a crucial point in the transportation of enslaved Africans. Enslaved individuals were often brought to Sierra Leone before being shipped to the Americas or forced into labor under brutal conditions. The country, therefore, became a significant and tragic part of the global network that saw millions of Africans taken from their homeland and sold into slavery. But even in the darkest times, Sierra Leone held on to hope, as it became a place of refuge for those who had gained their freedom. In 1792, the city of Freetown was established as a safe haven for freed slaves, primarily those who had been freed from slavery in the Americas. The city became a symbol of freedom and hope, offering a fresh start to those who had endured unimaginable suffering. Today, Freetown stands proudly as the heart of Sierra Leone, a beacon of resilience and survival that carries the legacy of those who fought for their liberty. The founding of Freetown marked a turning point in the country's history, as it became a symbol of strength for the African diaspora and for the generations that followed. However, Sierra Leone's more recent history is marked by even greater tragedy, particularly during the late 20th century, when the country became infamous for the brutal diamond trade. In the 1990s, Sierra Leone became the epicenter of what is now known as the blood diamond trade. These precious gems were mined under horrific conditions by workers, often forced into labor at gunpoint or subjected to violence. The diamonds, which should have symbolized wealth and beauty, were instead used to fuel a bloody civil war. Armed factions, desperate for power and resources, used the revenue from these diamonds to fund their violence and terror. The country was plunged into a brutal conflict that lasted for years, leading to widespread devastation, the displacement of entire communities, and the loss of thousands of innocent lives. The world watched in horror as the diamonds, which were supposed to be symbols of beauty, became synonymous with death, destruction, and human suffering. Entire villages were destroyed in the fight for control of diamond mines, and the people of Sierra Leone bore the brunt of the conflict. Families were torn apart, and children were recruited as soldiers, forced to carry out atrocities that would haunt them for the rest of their lives. The impact of the Civil War, fueled by the greed for diamonds, left deep scars on the nation. Despite these dark chapters, Sierra Leone's people have shown remarkable resilience and determination. The country, though scarred by conflict, is slowly rebuilding, and the people are working together to create a more peaceful and prosperous future. While the legacy of the blood diamond trade still looms large in the collective memory, many Sierra Leoneans hold on to hope for a brighter future, one where the beauty of their country's resources can be harnessed for the benefit of all, and where the horrors of the past are never forgotten, but serve as a reminder of the strength it takes to overcome adversity. The legacy of blood diamonds and its impact. The story of Sierra Leone cannot be told without acknowledging the devastating legacy of the blood diamond trade, a dark chapter that left an indelible mark on the nation. Diamonds, often described as a girl's best friend, were supposed to symbolize love, luxury, and prosperity. Yet, in Sierra Leone, these glittering stones became synonymous with greed, exploitation, and unimaginable violence. Their rarity and beauty turned them into objects of fierce competition, sparking a conflict that plunged the country into chaos. For years, the international community largely turned a blind eye to the horrors taking place in Sierra Leone's diamond mines. These stones, referred to as blood diamonds or conflict diamonds, were mined under brutal conditions. Rebel groups, most notably the Revolutionary United Front, RUF, seized control of diamond-rich areas and exploited the population to fund their insurrection. They used the revenue from diamond sales to purchase weapons and ammunition, perpetuating a cycle of violence that devastated communities and destabilized the entire country. The tactics employed by these groups were barbaric. Child soldiers were forcibly recruited, often brainwashed and drugged, and used as tools of war. Civilians faced unimaginable brutality, including mass amputations meant to instill fear and terrorize those who opposed the rebels. Entire villages were burned to the ground, and families were torn apart. The diamond mines themselves became sites of forced labor, where men, women, and even children toiled in horrific conditions, often at gunpoint. The blood diamond trade not only fueled the war, but also stained the global diamond market, as many of these stones made their way to international buyers, unaware or indifferent to their origins. The scars of this conflict remain etched in Sierra Leone, both physically and emotionally. Many survivors still bear the physical marks of the violence, while others grapple with the psychological trauma of losing loved ones or being forced to commit atrocities. Communities once vibrant and thriving were left shattered, struggling to rebuild in the aftermath of a war that claimed tens of thousands of lives and displaced millions. Despite this grim history, Sierra Leone is a nation of resilience, working tirelessly to reclaim its identity and rebuild its future. Today, the government, in collaboration with international organizations, has implemented significant reforms to ensure that diamonds mined in the country are conflict-free. Through initiatives like the Kimberley Process Certification Scheme, strict regulations have been put in place to monitor the diamond trade, preventing the sale of stones linked to violence or exploitation. The aim is to restore confidence in Sierra Leone's diamond industry while ensuring that the wealth generated from these resources benefits the people rather than fueling conflict. Efforts to rebuild the economy and promote peace are ongoing. Beyond the diamond industry, Sierra Leone is focusing on diversifying its economy, investing in agriculture, education, and healthcare to provide a better future for its citizens. The scars of the past may still linger, but the people of Sierra Leone are determined to move forward. They are transforming their narrative from one of suffering to one of hope and resilience, proving that even in the face of profound adversity, a brighter future is always possible. Through education, awareness, and ethical practices, Sierra Leone is working to ensure that its diamonds once again become symbols of beauty and value, not of conflict and despair. As the world continues to learn from Sierra Leone's history, it serves as a powerful reminder of the human cost of greed and the strength it takes to rebuild a nation after tragedy. A nation of resilience. Despite the deep scars left by its tumultuous past, Sierra Leone stands today as a testament to the resilience, strength, and unwavering hope of its people. The nation has faced challenges that few could truly comprehend: decades of slavery, colonialism, a brutal civil war, and the horrors of the blood diamond trade. Yet, through it all, the Sierra Leonean spirit of survival has remained unbroken. The country has endured unimaginable suffering, but its people continue to rise, rebuild, and look forward to a brighter future. One of Sierra Leone's greatest strengths lies in the resilience of its people. After the Civil War, which ravaged the country from the mid-1990s to 2002, and the destruction caused by the blood diamond trade, the recovery process has been nothing short of remarkable. Despite the challenges, Sierra Leoneans have shown extraordinary determination in overcoming the wounds of the past. Communities that were once torn apart by violence and fear are now coming together, rebuilding homes, businesses, and relationships. The scars may still be visible, but the will to move forward is stronger than ever. The nation's journey of healing is not just about rebuilding physical infrastructure, but also about mending the emotional and psychological damage inflicted by years of war and exploitation. Sierra Leoneans are learning to trust again, to forgive, and to build a future where the horrors of the past do not define them. This journey toward recovery is made possible by a deep sense of unity and pride, which is evident in every corner of the country. Today, Sierra Leone is known not only for its tragic history, but also for its beauty, culture, and the indomitable spirit of its people. From the historic streets of Freetown, where the legacy of freedom and resilience lives on, to the untouched beaches that stretch along its coast, the country offers a combination of natural wonder and rich cultural heritage. The tropical forests, with their incredible biodiversity, are a living reminder of Sierra Leone's connection to the land and its people's reverence for nature. These landscapes tell a story of survival and rebirth, as communities continue to thrive despite the challenges they have faced. Sierra Leone's beauty is matched only by the strength of its people. The vibrant culture, with its music, dance, and traditions, is a living expression of the nation's enduring resilience. The warmth and hospitality of Sierra Leoneans, who have endured so much, is a reflection of their strength and hope. They have learned to rise above their struggles, not letting their past define their future, but instead using it as a foundation to build something better. In the face of adversity, Sierra Leone is proving to the world that it is not defined by its past, but by the strength of its people and the hope for a brighter tomorrow. The country's journey of recovery is ongoing, and though the road ahead may still be long, the spirit of survival and the determination to thrive remain stronger than ever. Sierra Leone is a nation that refuses to be broken, a place where resilience is not just a concept, but a way of life. Sierra Leone is a land of contrasts, between immense beauty and immense suffering, between hope and despair. It is a country shaped by the greed of the diamond trade yet defined by the strength and perseverance of its people. As we look at Sierra Leone today, we see a nation that has experienced the worst of humanity, but is now focused on a better future. The road to recovery is long, but Sierra Leone's story is one of survival, resilience, and the indomitable human spirit. This is Sierra Leone, a place of mystery, history, and hope, where the echoes of the past still resonate in the hearts of its people. Let's continue to learn about and support this incredible country as it moves toward healing and a brighter tomorrow.